Hey everyone, it's Derek here with another video, and today we're talking about the Powerbeats Pro. And this is a pretty long-term review, I would say, probably roughly 3 years with these particular earphones, and they've been doing a really good job. The battery life. You get 9 hours of battery life and over 30 hours of total time with these. Second thing is sound quality. Sound quality is very good, and we're talking about wireless earbuds. So in the grand scheme of things, compared to a wired set of headphones or a set of headphones in general, they're pretty good, I would say. It's not as much separation of the instruments as it possibly could be in some other competitors, but I would say overall, in the grand scheme of things, for the price, it does pretty good. And I think overall the sound signature is usually more bass heavy. I typically like these more than the flat type of sound signatures, but yeah, these in my opinion are really good. Next thing is it stays in your ears. I know a lot of people run with these types of headphones in their ears, and I would say because it has this here and the hook, and it also has a twist that keeps them further down your canal, I would say it's probably the best wireless earbuds for working out in any type of fashion. They do not go anywhere, and that's one of the main reasons why I really like them. I guess it just depends on what type of working out you're doing. These get really sweaty, so they're IPX4 rated. The other great thing is that on these babies, they have volume control on the top here, and it's also on both sides. So you can see right here, there's a couple buttons here, one to turn it up, one to turn it down, and then it also has a button right here, which you can do 2 taps to skip the song, 1 tap to pause, and then 3 taps to go back a song. And then if you hold it, you can invoke, Siri. And then also you can do other things like turn Hey Siri always on. So if you do that, that also allows you to do voice controls with these without getting your phone out. You can just use them with the microphones here. So that's something that's really nice as well. It has an H1 chip in it, and it connects very seamlessly with any Apple device. So if you're switching from your MacBook or what have you, or using it on your phone and trying to use it on your tablet, it switches very, very seamlessly between all the different devices. It also can do reading out your text messages, and it can also read out notifications as well. So that's something with iOS 16 that it's starting to be able to do, is read out more and more different notifications. So that's something that's really nice with the Apple ecosystem and the H1 chip. The last thing is price for these, for the Pros. Now, originally these were $250. I would not say that is a good price to get these at. I bought these a few years ago for about $140, so they're like open box. And I would suggest anybody trying to buy these to get them that way, secondhand, because you can get them for much cheaper. I think right now the retail is around $200. But there's also another competitor, which is the Beats Fit Pro, which are also another product, but it doesn't have the ear hooks, but it does have ANC, and it does have transparency mode and spatial audio. So that's one thing to note, and you know that is actually cheaper than these. So you get a little bit less battery life, but it may be something that you would prefer to have instead of no ANC. I wish you can change these on the other side, so you can change this, like the bottom one, to actually invoke Siri or do something like play, pause, and so on and so forth, instead of pushing this back into your ear canal. That's one thing that I find very annoying, and the people creating these earbuds should really find a different solution. So moving on to the cons. Big case, like I said before, I guess to combat that, I don't really know why people walk around carrying these particular things in their pockets, but I guess people do. So yeah, first thing that's great about these is battery life. No noise cancellation, which is something that I'm sort of teeter-tottering on. I kind of like it, especially if you're like planning on doing some meditation or something like that. It's great to be able to get the noise isolation. And then also on an airplane, you still hear a lot of the noise from the airplane, so you can get a good seal, but again, it can only do so much. I found myself wanting some noise canceling headphones, especially when there's babies in the area and screaming, and yeah, the ambient noise that comes from an actual airplane flying and whatnot. These are comfortable. There's many different ways you can put them on. So I tend to tell people that, hey, you can keep it up here. This is not as far down in your ear canal. And then you can also keep twisting it to get a little bit further and further down. And this is probably, when you twist it all the way back, the least comfortable, but the furthest into your ear for the most noise isolation. But again, you have varying degrees of which you can actually do this. So that's something that's nice to have. If you wear them for long times and it's touching the concha of your ear, it starts to get like hot, and it also becomes uncomfortable. So that's something to note with these Powerbeats Pro, is that they're not the most comfortable, but I like them because they can stay in your ear and they also have a very good volume control. And then last but not least, it's not great audio when you connect to a Windows PC. Something about the audio drivers on a Windows PC, it just doesn't allow you to use it in stereo mode. There's a stereo audio connection, but when you switch to it, you can't hear anything and people can't hear you. So there's some weird thing with the drivers on Windows PCs that isn't great. So that's one thing to note. If you're using a MacBook or anything Mac related, then it works perfectly fine if you use it connecting to your phone. And also audio on a phone is really good. One of the things that I noted was that when I was talking to my friend on a phone call, he didn't really hear much of a difference between me actually talking on this or me talking on the phone. So that's something that's really high praise to these, and it's similar call quality to the AirPods Pro. And that's probably, one of the best compliments that you can give.